Hey everyone, welcome back to the range. My name is Matt. It's ammunition test day today. We have some goodies from Underwood. This is item number 112, a 9mm plus P plus 115 grain jacketed hollow point. I almost said full metal jacket. Let's throw him on the table and talk about what we're going to do today. In full transparency, these were purchased by myself from Underwood with funds from a good follower of mine, Robert K. For our 9mm testing, we have a large variety of barrel lengths, our 3, 4, 4.5, 7.72 and 16. After we've collected velocity using our Pro Chronopal Digital DLX, about 90 degrees outside today, we do a practical accuracy test. And because this is a jacketed hollow point, we're going to run this across some clear ballistics gel. Now, all of my prior knowledge that I'm going to share with you is that 115 grain in 9mm is a personal protection load, is on the cusp of not making the cut. Typically you want a 124 grain or 147 grain or somewhere in there. The exception comes from our Barnes and other copper hollow points show exceptional performance in our 115 grain. So it'll be interesting to see what this hollow point is going to do out of plus P plus velocities. Claims 1400 feet per second. It does not say that it is bonded on it, so it will be interesting to see if it just frags apart and what kind of penetration depths that we get out of it. Our first barrel length up is our 3-inch Springfield Hellcat. I love the factory U-notch sight on here and the fact that it has 13 plus 1 in the magazine. Our average across 5 shots was 1340 feet per second, extreme spread of 27 and a standard deviation of 9. Our second barrel length is our 4-inch Glock 19 Gen 4 MOS. Got the optic cut up top of the Holosun 407C. Our average across 5 shots was 1411 feet per second, extreme spread of 45 and a standard deviation of 16. Our third barrel length is our PSA Dagger with a 4.5-inch factory threaded barrel. I just got this back from PSA because it was dropping PMags and it still seems to be doing it, and I'm not sure if I'm bumping the magazine release on it, so I may shoot the next couple of strings of ammunition right-handed. But our average over 4 shots was 1429, extreme spread 12, and a standard deviation of 4. For our 7.72-inch barrel, we've got my lovely CZ Scorpion Evo 3 S1 SBR. Have a whole bunch of HBI parts in here, primary arms, red dot, and a Midwest Industries QD mount. Our average over 5 shots was 1592, extreme spread of 23, and a standard deviation of 8. Our final barrel length is our 16-inch ARV9 from Palmetto State Armory. Got a Romeo 5 up top with a Midwest Industries QD mount. Battle arms, safety selectors, a Radeon LT charging handle, Yankee Hill single port, QD muzzle brake up front. This takes our Evo style magazines. Our average over 14 shots, because I used this for accuracy the week before, was 1660 feet per second, an extreme spread of 48 and a standard deviation of 12. I would have had 15 shots, but the final shot jammed up against the feed ramp and I didn't pay attention to the overall length, and I reloaded that round in here and fired it and actually had possibly a kaboom because of how much powder was in there. I'm not sure. The magazine is cracked. I've got some unburnt powder on my hands. Otherwise, the gun looks okay. I'll try to find that case and do a picture-in-picture. So be careful if you have a jam. It could set your bullet back, and you probably should just discard that and not shoot that one. Here is our hot 115 grain Underwood 25 yards using the 16-inch ARV9, our primary arms. Is it 16 or 18 power? First focal plane scope. We're not set to 18 power, but we're set to good, and it's very clear. It's about 80 degrees outside, minimal to no wind outside. Very average group size for 9mm. Usually with our jacketed hollow point designs, we see somewhat better, but I think those are more in the traditional design like HST and it's like SIG V Crown in Gold Dot. This particular design gave us 1.129 inches, had a flyer there, and then 0.870 inches Very good for a very hot little 115 grain round. So we have a 6x6x16 clear ballistics gel block down there, a brand new one at that. We'll take a shot from the 4 barrel lengths, 3, 4.5, 7.72, and 16 inch to see what we're going to get. I don't think this bullet is bonded, so I think at some point along that velocity gain, we're going to see fragmentation occur and possibly some shallow penetration. I want to remind everyone that this load is a plus P plus loading, and if you know anything about bullet setback from chambering and rechambering around, or if you get a jam and it pushes that bullet back, you could go into a potential overpressure issue with this ammunition. So be very careful on some of the firearms that you shoot this out of. Make sure it is rated for this plus P plus ammunition. Why did I shoot so low? I don't know why I'm shooting so low. That one was right where I wanted to. Really good velocity off these. That's smoking fast, folks. Bum, 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 bum. Fragmentation has occurred. This is not a bonded bullet, and based on what we're seeing, we're exceeding the velocity threshold of this ammunition, and that's why we're starting to get fragmentation. The 3 inches down here, I don't know why I keep shooting it so low. That got the most penetration out to 11 inches. Then our 4.5 was right here at 10. Our 7.72 inch was right a little over 9.5. And then our 16 inch all the way down to 9 inches. But like I said, we're getting almost instantaneous neck on here, and we're getting fragmentation, but it's only going to about the 4-inch mark. Typically everything that I've read says if you get these fragments, you want those things to extend out to the 7 to 8 inch mark, and this potentially is not ideal, at least in personal protection. Kind of underneath the FBI minimum length that we need for penetration in this load against bare gel. We'll shoot it against denim and see if that bumps up those numbers at all. Here's a top-down shot. Like I said, this block is brand new. We'll get them out of here and check them out here in a minute. We'll see how this bullet does with our denim. I've got 5 layers down there on our gel block. Let's see if I can hit somewhere decent on this block. I don't know why I'm shooting so low with the Hellcat today. Got an error. It is getting late in the evening. I don't know why I always hit the same spot with both those guns. Well now, our 16-inch was right at the 7.5-inch mark. Our 7.72 inch was right at the 11. At the 10.5, which hard to see, is our 4.5-inch barrel. And then right there at the 12 is the 3-inch. It looks like we're still getting some expansion out of there and a little more penetration in some of the barrel lengths on here. But myself personally, this is not a load that I would find ideal in any kind of personal protection self-defense load, especially with as hot as that is. I'm starting to see a little bit of failure marks on that brass, and that's not something that I really want to deal with. There's a top-down shot. Sorry for the way these blocks look. We'll grab all these out of here and wrap this sucker up. Now, I don't typically do this, but I figured since I tested all this ammunition on the same day to the same parameters, the same barrel lengths, this would be a pretty good summary to see this. Here is our Barnes Tac XP. This first row was clear gel. The second row is our denim. This is a 16-inch, 7.72, 4.5, and 3. This row right here is our SIG V Crown, the M17 load. Again, clear gel. And then our denim. You can see that that bullet is clogging up significantly with those layers. Then here is our 115 grain Underwood. Getting expansion out of all of those, even with that denim plug in there. But out of all these loads today, these had the most limited amount of penetration, well below what the FBI would consider a minimum. And this is typically why you don't see many people recommend a 115 grain jacketed lead core hollow point in 9mm. You're going to see a minimum recommendation of our 124 grain or 147 grain or something of this copper monolithic hollow point flavor. We'll get macros on all these for each individual video, but there you have it. We'll try to get up pretty close there. There is the Underwood. There is the V Crown, and there is our Barnes Tac XP. I would say from these results, if I had to pick one of these for an EDC carry, I myself am probably going to go with our Barnes Tac XP. Unless I'm carrying a 4.5-inch barrel, then I probably wouldn't mind the SIG V Crown. But HST and Gold Dot, in my opinion, reign supreme over these other jacketed hollow points. Not only is the day coming to a close, but our ammunition review on this 115 grain loading from Underwood is as well. I try not to be high contrast black and white when I do these reviews and say, hey, you should buy this, or no, you shouldn't buy this. I want to give you guys information, and I want you guys and gals to use your critical thinking skills to look at the data that I presented to you and say, hey, for my situation, I like the performance that I saw here, or vice versa, that wow, I didn't really like what I saw there. I probably should reconsider purchasing that, and my research will continue. With all that being said, this is probably one of those times that I'm going to flat out recommend not to purchase this ammunition, mainly because it's a plus P plus loading that I believe is on the near edge of causing some catastrophes depending on what kind of firearm you shoot this out of. Say if you're going to shoot this, probably shoot it out of a Glock or a handgun with a well-supported chamber that is mentioned to support plus P and plus P plus ammunition, although I don't think any manufacturer recommends plus P plus. We were seeing signs of the case getting close to potentially failing right around where the rim is down there on the bottom. I'll have to roll a little picture-in-picture there, but that's signs that I don't like to see. We had really hot velocities out of this. Accuracy was within line with other 9mm loadings, but our penetration, which is the other qualification I'm looking for here, was wholeheartedly disappointing. We had under the FBI specification for our minimums, and that's not something that I'm going to look for in a EDC load. With all that being said, it's time for me to get the heck out of here, but at the end of all my videos, I take a moment to thank all those who helped make these possible. After all, there's a lot that goes into these. Number one is my Patreon and Subscribe Star fans. I have a link tree in the description below. If you have any questions for me, usually Instagram or Facebook, if you have it, is the easiest way to get a hold of me, or email. I can actually see those come across versus some of these YouTube comments that get buried or YouTube doesn't tell me about them at all. There's different affiliate links to help support me, or even on the videos, there's that little super thanks that you can actually donate you know, money, a dollar or whatever, directly towards this video if you like what you saw. Number 2 is my buddy Robert K, who donated funds for me to test this ammo with no strings attached. Of course, number 3 is you all for watching. Until next time, I'll catch you at the range.